Hi all, I am here to bring you a quick overview of the Costa Rica Study Abroad program that focuses on environmental justice, sustainability, and ecotourism. The program will run next July from the 7th to the 20th, although there will be required meetings and coursework outside of that. Costa Rica was originally chosen as a destination because it's relatively inexpensive to travel there. It's a short 4-hour flight, which is wonderful. And it's developed within a very interesting context within Latin America. So it has experienced a lot of progress as opposed to many of its neighbors that have not experienced the same amount of progress. They've also done a lot of focus on environmental justice in recent years, including looking at pesticide use, looking at green energy. It is a land where people really try to eat green, and so all of those factors are reasons why Costa Rica is an excellent location to study environmental justice. Any major is eligible for this program, even though it is a social work class. It really applies to all of us. Who doesn't want to learn more about climate change and environmental justice? Environmental justice is a social justice issue, and we should all be concerned with social justice. It is available to undergraduates and graduate students. The main requirement is that you have to be adventurous. This is not a vacation. It is not a tour with a syllabus, and you are not staying in five-star hotels. We will be primarily in two locations in San Jose, which is the capital city of Costa Rica, located in what is known as the Central Valley, and then also a several night trip to the Caribbean coast. Who doesn't want a little bit of beach time? In San Jose, you will stay with host families. You will experience an orientation to the culture and context of Costa Rica and learn a lot about Costa Rican history. And yes, you have to stay with families, but honestly, it ends up being one of the favorite things of students, even though it's probably the most anxiety producing thing up front. Even if you don't speak Spanish, you will enjoy your time there. You may not want to leave, and many of our students talk about the lifelong relationships that they have developed with their families, even though your stay with them is short. In San Jose, you will go on a walking tour and then visit various agencies and projects that relate to our overall theme. You will have a tour of a wonderful coffee farm with the opportunity to experience and taste coffee brewed in different ways, and then make a trip to the Caribbean coast for several nights. While in El Caribe, you get much more in depth in understanding indigenous cultures. You will engage in several cultural activities and then have some beach time and the opportunity to go to Cahuita National Park. You will also have some free time for optional excursions such as zip lining. So your faculty leaders, Mr. Lovato and Dr. Smith, can help you determine what those activities might be. Those would be at your own expense. So that caveat is included in this total will be between $3,000 and $3,500, and that's dependent on airfare. The exact cost will be determined later, but remember, this is almost all inclusive. So it includes your airfare. We like for everyone to travel together. It includes all of your lodging, so you'll have host families and shared hotel rooms on the coast. And then you will have most meals included. With that, if you decide to go out on your own, that meal will not be provided, but you'll have breakfast and dinner with your host families. Lunch, the agency will provide every time we go out on an excursion. It includes all of your excursions except those optional ones previously mentioned in El Caribe. It includes one checked bag each way, so everything you just need a little bit of spending money, and that's determined by your own spending habits. There are grants and scholarships available through the International Education Fund, but do remember that tuition and fees for the class are not included. So the tuition and fees, you must register for the graduate or undergraduate class that's associated with the program. And then the fee for the program will be put on your Texan bill once you commit, which has some advantages. So from the International Education Fund that you already pay into, if you have a 2.5 GPA as an undergrad, a 3.0 GPA as a graduate student, Those and are in good standing, those entitle you to whatever the grant is through the International Education Fund. It's not really a scholarship. You've already paid into that fund, so you will get some of that money that you've paid in back in the form of a grant towards the program. That amount is to be determined. At times, there are additional scholarships or grants available based on financial need. So what do you need for this besides an adventurous spirit? You need a valid passport. It has to have at least 6 months remaining on it before entering Costa Rica. Our Office of First Gen Initiatives has set up a program to help pay for scholars or to help pay for passports for first-time international travelers. So your faculty leaders can provide you with more information about that, or the Study Abroad office can. At this time, COVID remains an issue, but being fully vaccinated against COVID is not a requirement for travel, although it remains recommended. There are no other vaccinations required for this program. We have strict behavioral expectations on this program. You will sign a form through the portal that says that you understand that if you put yourself or the group at risk, you will be sent home on a plane at your own expense and you will fail the course. Spanish is not necessary during all of our program activities. We have a translator with us who will help us keep up for those of us that don't speak Spanish. And in your homes, you will not have a translator probably, but Google Translate is a wonderful thing and can help you navigate those host-family relationships. If you are not a social work major, we can design a final project that fits within your discipline. So as I stated earlier, the content of this course is applicable to just about every major. So we can help you figure out what assignments you can do that will help you fit with your major and further your learning. You have to register for the summer class. And there will also be mandatory online activities and some required face-to-face class meetings conducted pre-travel. Those the location of those meetings are to be determined. It's often determined by which campus has the most people enrolled. So decide on what friends you can recruit so you can have the pre-travel meeting at your campus. Here are just some quick ideas for funding. So you can always ask your family for gifts of money in lieu of Christmas or birthday gifts. Have a garage sale. You have a lot of stuff or chunchas that you don't need, so you can set up a garage sale or do other fundraising activities. Set up a GoFundMe page. Some students have had a lot of luck with that. And then talk to financial aid. Sometimes, depending on financial need, there is additional financial aid available if you travel abroad on a program. Consider a student loan. None of us are big fans of student loans, but there are times when the cost of the student loan is worth it in the trade out for the experience that you will get. This is once in a lifetime, and you cannot replicate this experience by taking a trip to Costa Rica. This is an entirely different experience of being able to be immersed in a culture. And then make sure you've applied for all the scholarships that you're eligible for, and you can always touch base with the scholarship office to see if there are other opportunities. Make sure you reach out with questions and send an email to the faculty leaders indicating your interest, and then request an appointment to discuss the program. You will apply through the Study Abroad portal. All of the things are tracked through there, and so they can provide you with information on how you will go about doing that. So your faculty leaders for this program are Dr. Misty Smith and Mr. Ted Lovato, both very experienced in leading this program, and they are anxious to help you commit to what will be for you a once-in-a-lifetime adventure. For now, that's all the information I have to share, and PuraVida.